Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for day 13 in our 30 Days of Yoga series. So today we're going to be doing a lovely grounding flow. So I recommend having a block with you for this practice. As always, there will be options for all levels throughout, so listening to your body and taking what feels right for you. So to come into the class, we're going to take a comfortable seated position on the mat. So I'm cross-legged, but if you'd rather have your legs out in front, you absolutely can. And we're going to bring the hands down and connect the fingertips with the ground, or if that's not comfortable, you could bring the hands to blocks. And I want you to start to close off the eyes or take the gaze out in front. And start to notice your breath as you inhale and you exhale. And let your sitting bones sink down into the ground. Notice the connection between your hands and the earth. Perhaps observing any sensations, any energy, anything that you can feel. And on your next inhale, I want you to imagine that you're drawing energy up from the ground, through your hands, into your body, all the way up to the heart. And then on your exhale, slowly releasing the breath, releasing that energy, all the way back down the body, all the way back down to the ground. So we inhale, draw the energy up, all the way up to the heart. And we exhale, release that energy back down the body, all the way back down to the earth. Last one, inhaling, drawing the energy up, going with your own breath at your own pace. And then on the exhale, drawing the energy back down, grounding it. Coming back to your natural breath. Softening the neck and the shoulders. And perhaps just taking a moment to connect to how grounded or not you feel today. There's no right or wrong. Just seeing if you can observe how the foundations are feeling beneath you. And just seeing what's alive for you today. Opening the eyes back up now. When you're ready, just bringing the hands together and rub the palms of the hands together, creating a little bit of friction, a little bit of energy. Release the hands, shake it out. Just keep shaking the hands, the wrists, and then just hold the palms of your hands out in front. So palms facing upwards, holding the hands here, and notice if you can feel energy in the hands or the fingers. It's okay if you don't. Just see if you can notice any tingling sensations. Well done, and release. So we're going to bring the legs in, and I want you to wrap your left arm around either both legs or just one leg if that's more comfortable for you. Bring your right hand out behind. Inhale, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, twist to the right. Send your gaze over your right shoulder or in that direction. Breathing here. Lifting on your inhale, relaxing on your exhale. Well done, coming back through to center, take it to the other side. So left arm, right arm wraps around the legs this time. Left arm comes out behind. Inhale, lift up and out from the waist. Exhale, twist to the left. Breathing here. Making space on your inhale and relaxing into that space on your exhale. Scanning into the back of the body, the spine. Checking in with how everything's feeling today. Making your way back to center. Step the feet out slightly so they're roughly hip width apart and you've got a bit of space. And you're going to bring the hands to the knees or the backs of the thighs. And we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders back, open across the chest. And then on your exhale, drop the chin down towards the chest, round the spine. Inhale, lift the gaze, shine the heart forwards. Exhale, rounding, drawing the belly in. Inhale, lift the gaze, open across the chest. Exhale, rounding, dropping the head. Last one, inhale, making space. Exhale, rounding. And then inhale, come back up to center. I want you to hug the knees in a little bit tighter in towards the body, wrapping both arms around the legs. And exhale, drop the forehead down towards the knees. An option to either keep the feet grounded here, or you can play with hovering the feet away from the mat. So finding a little bit of balance perhaps here. Closing the eyes if that feels good too. And bring the feet back down if you've taken them away, lifting the gaze. And we'll move into our tabletop position on the mat. So taking your all fours position, shoulders stacked above the wrists, hips above the knees. Tuck the toes under, and on your exhale, send the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. So hips are lifting away from the ribs. Maybe taking a pedal out through the feet. And really prioritizing that length through the spine. So if you need to keep a bend in the legs, then absolutely take that. But really getting that lift, pressing the mat away with your hands. Now step or walk the feet in towards the hands, hanging down in your forward fold. So letting the head hang heavy. Keeping as much bend as you need to through the legs. Shift a little bit of weight into the mounds of the big toes. Feeling that connection between your feet and the mat and the ground beneath you. And when we think about a grounding flow, we're connecting with the first chakra, Muladhara, so our root chakra. And this is all about feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling stable, having those kind of solid foundations beneath us. So it's about really reflecting on how those things feel for you at this time, and there really isn't a right or wrong with what comes up here. On your next inhale, keep some softness in the legs, draw the belly in and start to curl the body up with a rounded spine. Taking it really slow, deep breaths as you come up. Lifting the head up last, meeting in our Tadasana mountain pose. From here, I want you to just lift just the toes away from the mat. Spread the toes and then plant them back down. So strong foot foundations, strong connection to earth. So we really want to be pressing through the four corners of the feet. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up, lift the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forwards, coming into our Surya Namaskar A. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, find your Ardha Uttanasana. Hands could be on the shins or the thighs. You could keep a slight bend through the legs here as well if you need to. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step the feet back to plank, pausing here, shoulders above the wrists, connecting to that strong center line of energy. Going through the modified version of the sun salutation. Exhale, drop the knees down, lower the chest down to the mat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, peel the chest away from the mat, cobra, or take an upward facing dog if that's in your practice. Exhale, release the chest back down. And press the hands into the mat, lift the hips to the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here, pausing here for a moment. Just remembering that child's pose is always there for you if you need it. Breathing here. Inhale, sweep the right foot through between the hands. Reach the fingertips up to the sky, warrior one, so back heels down. Lifting up and out from the waist. Bring the hands into heart center. Step your back foot in. Toes are pointing out at a slight angle. Hips are shining forwards. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, we fold forwards, keeping the spine long. It's coming into our pyramid pose. So coming down to this halfway point. And now from here, we're going to move into our revolved Trikonasana. So you're either going to grab a block and place it to the outside of your left foot, or you can bring your hand straight down to the mat, and we're twisting to the right and opening up. So right fingertips reaching up to the ceiling, left hands come down to the block, or it could be down on the mat. Breathing here. Taking any modifications that you need. Pressing the feet down and away into the mat. And then from here, you can take a bit of a bend in this right leg to help you here to move forwards. You can keep your left hand on the block and move your block forwards and open into your revolved so you can keep your hand on the block, move forwards, and we're opening into our revolved Ardha Chandrasana, so our revolved half moon pose. So again, either left hand's on the block here, right arm's reaching up, or you could be bringing the left hand down to the mat and working here, breathing. Well done. Bring both hands down to the mat, step it back to plank, and work through your vinyasa. So inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra, and then exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Reconnecting with your breath. Breathing into that space you've created within the body. Noticing the connection between your hands and your feet with the mat. Inhale, this time we sweep the left foot through between the hands. Keep that back heel down. Reach the fingertips up, warrior one. Lifting up and out from the waist. Exhale, float the hands through to heart center. Step your back foot in, grab your block if you need it. Inhale here, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling, legs are staying lengthened. Keep the spine long, fold forwards. It's coming down to roughly this halfway point to begin with, pausing, breathing here. And then this right hand could be coming to a block to the outside of the left foot, or the mat, and the left fingertips reach up to the sky in our evolved Trikonasana. So just reducing the range of movement if you need to, using blocks and props to support you. Breathing here. And then from here, seeing if you can reach forwards with that right hand. Again, you could keep the block with you. Lift the back leg away from the mat. Find your evolved Ardha Chandrasana, evolved half moon. Breathing into those wobbles and shakes. Building our joint stability, our strength, our focus and concentration. All the good stuff. Well done. And bring the hands back down to the mat. Take a big step back to plank. We'll flow through our chaturanga, inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Pressing the mat away with your hands. Finding the breath. Inhale, send the gaze between the hands, step or jump your feet in. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, bend the legs as much as you need to. Inhale, sit the hips back, find your Utkatasana, your chair pose, imagining that you're sitting down onto a chair behind you here. Inner thighs drawing in together. Strong in a line of energy. Exhale, release, meeting in Tadasana. Hands come to heart center and Jali Mudra. Well done. The feet out, bringing the feet so that they're slightly further than hip width apart. And we've got the toes pointing out to the side. Hands are still at heart center. Inhale here as you exhale, bending through the legs, and we're bringing the hips down to the mat to find our Malasana, our yogic squat. So again, using blocks to support you here. You could have a couple of blocks under the hips, or you could bring your hips straight down to the mat. So the elbows are coming in towards the inside of the knees, and the knees are pressing back into the elbows, reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling. Engaging Mula Bandha. So this is our root lock. Mula Bandha, where we're locking our energy at the root. So engaging the pelvic floor muscles, the muscles at the seat of the pelvis. And locking our energy here. And keep reaching the crown of the head upwards. Imagine energy drawing from the root, the base of the spine, all the way up through to the crown of the head. Bringing the hips down to the mat now, releasing the legs, keeping your block to hand. Bring the soles of your feet down to your mat. Reach the fingertips out in front, and we'll start to lower the spine down towards the mat, keeping the core switched on. Seeing if you can match my pace here, but no worries if you need to bring the hands down. And finally bringing your head and your shoulders down to the mat. And stepping the feet in, and we want the heels to be coming in so that the tips of our fingers are just brushing our heels, and you've got the arms at the side. Really important here that we keep the head and the neck nice and straight. It's just listening to my voice. So I want you to draw your pelvis up and in towards the body. Notice the belly button drawing in towards the spine. The lower back, the lumbar spine, connecting more closely to the mat. Trying to keep this activation. Start to lift the tailbone away from the mat and start to press the hips up to the sky, coming into a bridge position, gauging through the legs, the glutes. And then option to add in, reaching the arms up and over here as well. As you exhale, really slowly lower the spine back down to the mat, bringing the hips down last and floating the arms back down to the side of the body. So inhale, we're lifting the hips, floating the arms up and over. Exhale, floating the arms back down to the side of the body, bringing the body back down to the mat. 2 more. Inhale, lifting, reaching the arms up. Exhale, slowly coming back down with control, using those glutes, using the legs. And last one. Inhale, lifting, arms reaching up. And then pausing here in your bridge, seeing if you can bring your arms back down to the mat. And if you've got a block to hand, you're going to slide the block underneath the sacrum. You can put your block on whatever setting feels right for you. You could have it on the high setting or the low setting. If you don't have a block, you could use an alternative like a book. So making this now into a restorative bridge. So closing the eyes or taking a steady gaze up to the ceiling. Really surrendering. And seeing if you can observe again here which parts of your body are remaining connected to the ground. Bringing your awareness back to some slow, soft breaths. And then we're going to start to engage through the legs and the glutes first. Then keeping that activation, sliding the block away. So this is supporting your spine. And then slowly lower the hips down to the mat. So releasing from your restorative bridge. Window wiping the knees from side to side. And then finally hugging both legs in towards the chest. So taking a big hug. And taking any gentle movement that feels good here. Maybe a gentle rock back and forth. Or side to side. And on an exhale, drawing the forehead in towards the knees. So finding a further rounding here. Stretching into the back of the neck, the upper part of the back. Sending your gaze inwards, drawing your gaze inwards. And releasing your head back down to the mat. And you can either bring the hands behind the thighs, whatever feels good for you, and just start to take a gentle rock back up to seated, or make your way there in a way that feels comfortable for you. And we're going to bring the fingertips back down to the mat or to blocks, closing the eyes. And as you start to inhale through the nose, imagine drawing your energy up the body, all the way up to your heart center, Anahata. And then on your exhale, releasing that energy all the way back down, grounding it back down into the earth. So inhale, draw your energy up to the heart. Exhale, release your energy back down the body, all the way back down to the ground. Nice slow exhale. And last one, inhaling, drawing the energy in. Exhaling, releasing the energy all the way back down the body, grounding it. And just feeling the connection to earth with your hands, your sitting bones, allowing the body to be held and supported. We'll start to slowly open the eyes now, taking a steady gaze. And you can bring the hands to heart center with me, palms coming together. And we'll reach the fingertips down to connect with the ground and honor being in the present moment. Thank you so much for being here and practicing with me. I hope you found this grounding practice useful. Do comment and feedback to me on how you're getting on. I always love to hear from you. And do subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It's completely free. Link below to all the other things that I offer, and I can't wait to see you for some more flows very soon. Take care. Bye bye.